Okay, this video is going to take you through design your solution, 3D printed part design, or I should say 3D part design. And we'll move on here to my issue was hand washing, and not necessarily hand washing, but we are using using a lot more soap, and we're hand washing more often than ever now. And what we're finding is that we're going through liquid hand soap at an astonishing rate. So what we're finding is that the problem that needs a solution is that the liquid soap dispenser is pushing out more soap than it could ever be needed for an adult and or a child. This video shows my daughter, 6 years old, using liquid hand soap. And you can see that that amount of liquid hand soap that was dispensed was a tremendous amount of soap. She could probably soap up a whole lot more than her hands with just that. So with that, decided that we needed to do something about the amount of volume and the amount of waste when we're talking about hand soap. This is probably enough for 5 to 6, maybe even more hand washing. So what we decided to do is I came up with this plunger control device. This plunger control device limits the amount that the plunger can go up and down. So it limits the stroke of the plunger, which then also limits the soap that is being dispensed. So what happens is this little device is going to wrap itself around the neck here of the plunging device for the liquid hand soap. It wraps around the neck of the plunger, limits that depth, so it's going to stop it from going all the way down. And then, of course, the soap will not have as much soap coming out. The way that this functions is the part down here is actually going to separate. I shouldn't say separate, but it's going to flex where those red arrows are located. And then it is going to get pressed onto the neck. All right, so it flexes and gets pushed onto the neck. Here is actually the 3D printed part. Now, obviously, I'm not going to have you guys 3D print these parts right now. You would if you were in a classroom, but being remote, we're not going to do that. But these 3D printed parts would flex around this part. You can see how the function would occur. This is the installed part at this point. And then this is the result. This is the perfect amount of hand sanitizer for an adult and or child, where that is completely depressed, and that's about how much soap comes out. And the first image in this presentation, way back up here in the beginning, this was her washing her hands with that amount of soap. You can see a tremendous amount of suds being created, and she was able to wash her hands adequately with that amount of soap. So certainly looking to create a device that was going to solve my problem of wasting liquid hand soap.